Hello friends, welcome to Crazy Peazy, the channel where we make videos on crazy and unknown facts about incredible places, personalities and amazing things. So sit back, relax and get ready for the crazy ride ahead. Today, we are going to talk about 5 popular food delicacies enjoyed around the world, which may or may not be to everybody's taste. Give them a shot if you ever want to take your food to the next level. Before I start, let me say that I have kept out the usual stuff from this list, so you won't find any monkey brains, crocodiles, dogs, spiders, snakes that are readily eaten around the world. What we'll focus today are on the real crazy stuff that involves a particular process to make them as appetizing as they appear to be. So here we go. Crazy peasy number 5. Haggis, Iceland. Rotten or fermented shark is a national dish of Iceland consisting of Greenland sharks or other sleeper sharks which has been cured and hung to dry for 4 to 5 months. Now shark meat is eaten all over the world, so what's so special about this one? It's the fermentation process that makes this one stand out over the rest. The meat of the Greenland shark is poisonous when fresh due to a high content of urea and trimethylamine oxide present in them. So the Icelanders found a way to make this edible. The traditional method is by gutting and beheading a Greenland or sleeper shark and placing it in a shallow hole dug in gravelly sand, with the now cleaned cavity resting on a small mound of sand. The shark is then covered with sand and gravel, and stones are placed on top of the sand in order to press the shark. In this way, the poisonous fluids are pressed out of the body. The shark ferments in this fashion for 6 to 12 weeks depending on the season. Following this curing period, the shark is then cut into strips and hung to dry for several months. During this drying period, a brown crust will develop which is removed prior to cutting the shark into small pieces and then served with toothpicks along with alcohol. Fermented sharks have an extremely strong smell due to its large presence of ammonia, similar to many cleaning products. Those new to it may gag on the first attempt to eat it, and first-timers are sometimes advised to pinch their nose while taking the first bite, as the smell of it could make you unconscious. So next time you see a shark, be it dead or alive, do yourself a favor. Just run. Crazy peasy number 4. Haggis, Scotland. This one comes from personal experience, and let me tell you, it's absolutely delicious. If you are in Scotland, you will find haggis as a staple food on the breakfast table all across the country. And let me tell you, it looks lovely too, just like any other pudding. It's the recipe and method of cooking that's most interesting. It's a savory pudding, typically made of sheep's heart, liver and lungs, minced and mixed with onions, oatmeal and seasoned with salt and spices, cooked inside the animal's stomach for about an hour. Although it is the national dish of Scotland, it is believed that the dish originated from Scandinavian region even before Scotland was a single nation. The exact origin of this dish is dated back to prehistoric origins and was born out of necessity. When animals were hunted, there was a need to cook them near the site of the hunt without the need to carry along an additional cooking vessel. While the liver and kidneys could be grilled directly over a fire, but this treatment was unsuitable for the stomach, intestines or lungs. Therefore, chopping up the lungs and stuffing the stomach with them and whatever fillers might have been on hand, then boiling the assembly inside the animal's stomach was one of the ways to make sure these parts were not wasted. Sounds like waste management was a thing back then as well. Crazy peasy number 3. Bahalot, Philippines. Filipinos loves to do things differently. While it is common to see boiled eggs pretty much anywhere in the world, this is a bit different. Even those with an iron stomach may cringe at the sight of a balot egg. The sight of a small animal inside your hard-boiled egg is usually the stuff of nightmares, but in the Philippines, it's the stuff of culinary fascination. Balot is a developing bird embryo which is incubated for a period of 14 to 21 days in the sun or buried in sand and stored in baskets to retain warmth in order for the embryo to develop normally. The egg is then boiled and eaten from the shell, including feathers and bones, which are soft enough to chew and swallow as a whole. For the eggs, the Malay duck is considered to be the most important breed to make balot. The egg is typically served with the broth surrounding the embryo as it is seeped from the egg before the shell is peeled, and the yolk and young chick inside can be eaten. It is common street food in the Philippines and other localities and is also sold in stores and malls. It is also a relatively cheap source of protein and calcium. But as with most foods, this one did not originate in Philippines but was introduced by the Chinese around 1885, and since then balot has been included as a traditional part of the culture. Besides Philippines, there is also a Cambodian and a Vietnamese version of the balot. In fact, the more duck-like the features are, the more manly the eater is said to be. The egg, for the most part, tastes like an egg, and according to those who have had it, the fetus tastes like chicken. Well, you could believe them and go for it when you get a chance. I certainly won't. Crazy peasy number 2. Marzu, Italy. Who does not love a good serving of cheese? Absolutely delicious. In fact, the word is synonymous to bringing out a smile on our face. Sounds great, right? Well, almost, unless it is called marzu or the maggot cheese. This traditional Italian dish is made of sheep's milk and famous for containing live insect larvae, and is sure to put off all but the most adventurous eaters. This homemade cheese contains thousands of live maggots and is made by allowing flies to lay eggs on the surface of pecorino cheese that has had the top cut off to allow for easy access. When the eggs hatch, the larvae eat through the cheese, breaking down the fats and softening the usually hard middle. The result is a weeping, tongue-burning delicacy that you can eat with or without the maggots. Apparently, these wiggling little maggots are supposed to enhance the flavor, but are prone to jump when they panic, so watch your eyes. Some people suffocate them or kill the beasties in the fridge before consuming, but others go for the live version. Sometimes they may survive the stomach and could burrow into your intestines. Still sounds great? I'm not so sure. Crazy peasy number 1. Century egg, China. Well, the egg really may neither be a century nor a millennium old, but this egg is pretty rotten. It is a Chinese food product and delicacy made by preserving duck, chicken or quail eggs in a mixture of clay, ash and quicklime for several months. The process starts with the infusion of 3 pounds of tea in boiling water. To the tea, specific quantities of calcium oxide, sea salt and ash from burned oak is mixed into a smooth paste. Each egg is individually covered by hand with gloves worn to protect the skin from chemical burns. It is then rolled in a mass of rice chaff to keep the eggs from adhering to one another before the eggs are placed in cloth covering jars or tightly woven baskets. The mud slowly dries and hardens into a crust over several months. The eggs are then ready for consumption. As a result of this, the yolk turns a dark green or even black and slimy, while the white has turned to a dark brown translucent jelly. It is called century egg for a reason. As the story goes, a farmer found naturally preserved duck eggs in a muddy pool of water and slaked lime, a type of calcium hydroxide. After surviving a tasting, he set out to replicate them manually, resulting in a delicacy that would endure for centuries as a comfort food in Hong Kong, China, and parts of Southeast Asia. It is a very common Chinese delicacy and commonly served in wedding or party banquets. Apparently, it smells strongly of sulfur and ammonia but tastes like a hard boiled egg until you breathe out, that is. So, that was my list of the crazy and insane foods which are delicacies and enjoyed by one and all in several parts of the world. Have you had a chance to experience something similar? Share your experience in the comment section below. If you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it, then please leave a like and share this video to show your love and appreciation. Also, please subscribe to my channel and do not forget to click on the bell icon so that you are always notified when I come out with more crazy and interesting videos. So until next time, this is Som Chakrabarti signing off. Stay safe. See you soon.